What's up, everybody? It's Amma Jamma here. Welcome to another live trading stream with me. No camera today, unfortunately. I apologize for that, but the trades will be just as fire as they normally are. We're gonna give it a minute like we usually do, let some people get in here, and we will get started from there. A couple hits from yesterday. We actually had a couple different really nice trades yesterday that were for if you held on to those, the SPY did dump pretty much the whole day. We had up to 200, 350% on those SPY trades from that first 15 minutes. So stick around. Don't miss those trades like that. And we will get started in just a minute. Let me share this link, make sure we're good to go. And we'll get started from there. Let me share this link a couple places and we will get started. All right, let's see here. We'll talk about this and obviously level 400. I'm just going to pop this link in a couple places, and I just want to remind everybody that the key level, this $400 level, is so key on the SPY in general. So it's definitely somewhere we're watching and keeping an eye on. And all right, we'll just get started and we'll go from there. Let me pop back on the screen. All right, here we go. So let's pop the SPY on first and let's look at that and we'll go from there because there's a couple interesting things I am actually looking at when it comes to the SPY. Obviously, I'm gonna pop on this 4 hour first. As you can see, we are at a key level, a key bounce zone. As you can see, if you look at this chart right here, and identify these three levels that we're looking at right here, you could see that this the third bounce at this level, which is a really key level here. So, and it being $400, so we're definitely at a point of confluence here. We've got this uptrend coming together with this double bottom area here, as you can see, these wick lows area here, as well as sitting at a $400 level. So what that's telling me is a couple things. First thing I'm immediately thinking about with this is that key $400 level, because if we pop on the 15-minute, we held that. We did dip at market open today, the first hour. We hit that 398.16. But yesterday, I mean, we hit 399 and we did push back up. And we closed at, what did we close at yesterday? I'd love to, let's see. Closed 399.09. So we closed below 400, but either way, it's a major level. It's super important, and that's what we want to pay attention to. So a couple immediate things we want to chart on this chart is obviously our wick low yesterday at 399 level. That's the first level we're definitely looking at right there. And then our wick low from pre-market at that 398.06 and that 398.16. And then obviously our high of pre-market. Those are our immediate first levels we're looking at. And then actually our high from yesterday afternoon. Those are our major areas. And then when we talk about like these super consolidated zones that we really don't want to touch. And if we're looking at even the 5-minute chart here, we could see that we do have a little bit of bull flag forming. That doesn't mean I'm bullish by any means. It just means we had a little bit of a uptrend and a flag forming. So let's watch and see what happens coming into market open in this specific area right here. So we're going to watch this flag formation and wait and see what happens. And obviously, this is not the ideal zone to take an entry within the flag. So we watch the breakout above that flag in a bullish direction or that loss of that trend and play it from there. Either way, it's definitely what we're watching first as far as the market goes, as far as the SPY goes this morning. All right, so past that, I'm a couple of the like Coinbase is a top stock. We have a few top stocks. Coinbase obviously coming off of earnings is a top stock we want to watch, as well as another couple others. But let's get into our live trades. Let's get into why we're all here. All right, so obviously, LLAP is a top runner today. We are up about 75%. We hit as high of over 100% on this one. So we're immediately identifying a couple levels here on LLAP in particular. So, that's pretty much what we're watching is those levels. Obviously, we have a little bit of a downtrend within this channel. So we're watching that as well. So for me, and then we've got our high a day as well as with one like this, we want to put our fibs on. We got to put our fibs on, guys. Let's be real. So we're going to measure our breakout with this fibs, and we're going to leave it on there. And actually, this one I'm going to go to all the way at the bottom here, the beginning of the breakout. So I'm going to leave the fibs on, and I'm actually going to change the color so we can identify that versus our trend lines. Our fibs we will have is yellow. Nope, that wasn't my fibs. All right, so we're going to make our fibs yellow. We know the difference between the lines, and we're going to, like usual, we're going to identify that 0.50 to 0.65 area on our fibs. So we'll come back to that one. Let's get a couple more charts here. WINT looks like it's a smaller float just by the movement of the charts. 30 million, not like tiny, but it could get some nice little action behind it. Definitely one that we should watch here. And it's actually one that looks like it did have that little golden fibs bounce from the looks of it. And as you can see right here from our breakout, actually at market close yesterday, that is exactly where we bounced, was our golden fibs line. So we're going to pop that line on so we can delete the rest of this. And we don't want all these chaotic lines here. We just want to identify where that fibs is. And we'll turn it yellow like we normally do with that fibs line. And then we'll go from there. So obviously we've got a little uptrend here, and then our immediate resistance support we're looking at is in this area right about here. Let me pop on the 5 on this one. We'll get some clear lines. So this area here, and then our wick high from a few minutes ago here. Those are my two main areas I'm looking at. As you can see, if we were to break this this area here, say over 20.273, that's where I would like an entry above that 0.273. Or even above this wick high. You're going to get your riskier entry and your safer entry. Your safer entry is going to be above 0.273 with some nice volume coming into market open. And then your riskier entry is going to be that 0.252, right around there. 0.252, I would say, that break above this where we've hit our head for the last few minutes pre-market, because again, we are on the 5 here. So that area here, if you did take a trade breaking out of this area here and in this box here, be prepared for a resistance coming up quick at that 0.277 area right around there. And then the ideal trade setup that we would love to see is it come down a retest to this, this golden fibs area and the bounce for the entry. You guys know what I'm talking about here. We talk about this every day. A lot of the stuff, I keep it super basic. This isn't a teaching stream. If you ever want me going more depth with everything, anything, that's what our Discord's for. We're here to make money. So I go over some stuff that's super basic. I go very basic ways that I'm looking at the charts here. There's of course other things I'm looking at, but that's not our point of this stream. We've got a 55K wall at 30 cents as well. That's definitely something to take notice of on WINT. We've got a massive, massive sell wall at 30 cents. I mean, that's 33% from where we're at now, though. Actually, it's about 65% from where we're at now. Excuse me. So all right. So Pet is one from pre-market yesterday or after hours yesterday that did pop. Has kind of been downtrending ever since. It really doesn't. It's not too exciting for me. For this one, honestly, what I would look at is a break above that high of after hours, that 310 area. Other than that, it's nothing I'm really looking at in an exciting way. We don't have a lot going on pre-market, and overall, we haven't had a lot going on the last couple weeks. Our pre-market volume has been pretty low in general. So this one's another one I want to pop this fibs. We're right at it right now. So it could be an interesting entry actually with some sustained volume. This JBFR, small float here, teeny tiny float, exactly what we like to see. So on this one, we know with those floats like this, we can sell off pretty heavy quickly. So I wouldn't really touch this one. We've got no volume right now, but we do know if we get some volume coming in, some really nice volume coming in, that we could get a really nice pop. So for this one, I would say I wouldn't really want to touch it below the 118 area, I would say, for an entry. I don't really want to touch it in this box here. And then obviously if we lose $1.07, that's kind of the point where I'm not really interested anymore unless we could break back above that $1.07 pretty stinking quickly. And aside from that, it doesn't really strike my fancy. It's very small float though. So that in particular is one of the positive things I'm looking at on this stock and makes it watch list worthy for me. So because we only have a couple even above as 15%, we're going to go to yesterday's top runners as well, and we'll check out a couple of those and see what's going on these 15-minute charts, get some levels here. All right, so as we can see here, my immediate thought on this one is we've got 2 major areas on ATLX. This is ATLX I'm on. Um, and that's my thought. All right. So right now we're sitting at 1050. If we could break and hold above 1081, that's where I like my entry on this one. I'm not really liking it between that 1058 and that 1081. I think it's too tight of an area to make it worth it. So I would say 1081 on this one, or watching for that little sell off and a $10 bounce. And then if we get the $10 bounce, taking it on the way back up above, say, 1020. All right. So we want that bounce, and then we want the entry at 1020, or we want the above 1080. So we'll put that right here, save it, 1020 bounce right there. All right. And then let's look at a couple more. MHUA is one that lower float. I mean, honestly, nothing exciting to me. This one is pretty exciting because KUKE, I believe, is another smaller float. Yeah, about 10 million. Um, so obviously we have our do not touch zone on this one. So this is one where if we can break out of this area here, then I'm interested. Say above $1 right around that area there. That's kind of the only place I'm interested in that one. ARB is another one that we had played yesterday, and as a matter of fact, it's one that broke very, very bullish after we got off the stream yesterday. I'm sure a lot of you guys remembered after it broke out of this trend line, taking an entry. We ended up playing this from like $6.30 up to 7.60, and it's held. I mean, it's holding at that same place once again. So we're almost playing essentially the same exact stinking setup today. And we know how it behaves from yesterday. So we're watching kind of that same exact area. I'm going to pop on the minute chart here. All right. And we're going to draw a little bit of a line. And we're going to watch for that volume to come in pre-market. And we're going to see if we get a nice push above the same thing right there. All right. So I would watch for a break above 660 on this one is pretty much what I'm looking at. Or as you could see for the last day and a half, anytime we get below that 620 to 635 area, watch for the break back above that 650. Either way, this one it's a lot this chart's a lot cleaner on the 5 minute than the 1 minute, but obviously we like to flip to the 1 minute to watch that candle, how those candles are moving once the market opens here. But that is exactly what we're looking at here. We do have about 2 minutes till market open. And this is actually a little longer term trend line, in my opinion. Let me pop this. Let me fix this a little bit. All right. So we're watching for the break above that trend line there. So we're obviously going to flip between these top gainers, ATLX. We know what to look for there. MHUA wasn't really interesting to me. So we've got ARBE as well. So really ARBE, ATLX, and then flip, and then we'll do I'm missing 10 today. And then ARBE. So we can just flip through them pretty quickly. And then today's top. Oh, we don't want our screener. One day we'll go. We can go through screeners one day. Let me show you a couple of LAP and Wint. The final two. There we go. All right, so we have everything right here. These are kind of the ones we're sticking to at this point in the market open to see what happens here. Now remember, riskier entry is going to be that 25 and a quarter, so 0.252, and then above 27.25 for your safer entry. That's what we're watching on this one. We'll watch this. We'll stick on this chart as the market opens here and see what we got. And of course, our dream would be to come down and bounce off that golden fibs, baby, our yellow line, our bright yellow. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to flip between a couple of these just to see right at the market open candle. We'll go from there. All right. Remember, a couple of these have very small floats, so you have to be really, really cautious in how you handle them. And we'll give it about 5 to 7 minutes if nothing's interesting. with our equities, we'll obviously flip over and identify our SPY levels. We've got that 399.75. Looks like the SPY is actually breaking into an impulsive candle here. I am watching these as well. I'll keep an eye on them, let you guys know. But honestly, I know the SPY are what we're really looking at. Coin just had an absolute massive breakout right at market open. SPY is still sitting in our little bit of a bull flag here. Let's see what happens over the next couple minutes. And we will flip to our options as well. Ideally, what we want to see is this. I want to see the impulsive break, whether it's bullish or bearish out of the flag. Oh, excuse me. I don't want that. I want to see the impulsive break out of the flag, retest, and then the hold. That's where I would take calls at. Um, as far as puts go, I want to see what happens as we lose 399.20, and we'll go from there. So, I mean, as much as people don't want to admit it, the SPY holding the 399 area to $400 area is actually kind of bullish in my opinion, because it's not doing a toilet flush. Of course, we have FOMC today, and that changes everything. But at this moment, it's not this mass hysteria sell-off that a lot of people wanted to talk about happening, and it's not happening, people. Let's just be real. 400 is holding strong. 398 to 400 is holding. We lose at 398. I'm going heavy on puts. You better believe it. I'm not by any means telling you a bull, but we've held up. All y'all that want to buy puts, just buy them and hold them overnight and load the boat on 9 different things with puts. Be careful. Be careful. As soon as the retail investor flips and says we're coming down, market's gonna rip. They're here to take our money. They're here to take our money. It doesn't matter what makes sense on paper. What matters is the technicals and what happens. All right. Because the second the retail investor all's bearish, what do you know? We ended up popping to almost $420 this month on this spot. Epic rip. Our MAs line up. We're staying above the 200 for the longest time, for a very long time, and it's where we're at. So SPY's not doing much here. All right, so we're watching for that golden fibs bounce on this one. I gave the levels on all these, Ragery Y. I will go as we hit the levels. We're really not, as far as the top performers of the day, we don't have too much going on right now. Very, very quiet pre-market with a lot of trades. Pulling back a little sideways. So ideally, I want to see that settle between that 248 and 273, and then have that strong push, pick up of support, and we would take that entry. Same thing here. I want to see if this candle. Okay, so I'm actually same price. Now that we've pulled back this far, it is far enough, in my opinion, that I would take entry back above that 0.233 at this point. That's my entry. If the next candle turns into a bullish flag and we start to push, 0.233 would be my entry on that one. 232, 233. LLAP is still selling off a little bit. We're watching this area. ARBE, same thing. We had that wick low to 620. Pretty nasty wick low just to get picked back up. It's probably a couple outlier orders. Volume isn't substantial enough to make me believe that there was a massive amount of orders at that 620 level. I think it was a flick down a couple fills, and it came right back up because that was immediate. All right, so KUKE had a massive break out of our square that we were looking for. We were looking for entry above the square, which is $1.01. See what happens here. This is the do not touch zone, as we know, but we'd like to see a candle open the next candle above our do not touch zone. We know about these traps, guys. So let's see what this volume is, because this is a very low float, 13K volume, not enough to make me strike my fancy too much. That's just nothingness for volume, in my opinion. So we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, we're really having quite the not the most exciting. Let's pop this on the 1 day, see if there's anything exciting going on that we've missed. All right, so ATLX, we did hit our entry. Our riskier entry, we know our riskier entry was above 1058. All right. Our safer entry was above 1082. Either one, the 1058, you're up about 5%, 5-6% right now. And even the safer entry, you hit a wick of up to like 4%. And right now you're up about 3%. At this point, that's a pretty strong candle. Two strong candles with wicks at the top of the candles. So I would be cautious. I would be hard pressed to not see us pull back at least to the 1065 level in the next couple minutes, and then perhaps we get the secondary push because a couple candles like that with nasty wicks at the top of the candles and second 5 minute candle, excuse me, at market open is losing volume. Very, very irregular volume there across the board. So that to me, we need to see a little continuation here. And we have a little bit of a trend line we're watching as well. So we'll watch this trend line, see what happens as well. Oh, didn't mean to hit that. Sorry, guys. All right, so LAP is selling off. We really do want to see it come down into this box. That's what I would prefer is coming down into this box before we touch it. And not much off is one. It's a micro float. I actually did not we didn't chart this one. This is old charting. But this is a micro float. This is one I really, really, really like. We're talking micro float, guys. So if we break out for this one, I give absolute green light entry if we wick back above 345. Um, I'm not saying it happens. It's just super high risk play, but it's one I've really had my eyes on over the last few weeks. And keep watching this long term, not just today, everybody. Long term on that one. We've got to hold on EKX. How much? What was our volume on this? 5,000 volume call. So it's obviously another very, very small float. No, actually, it's not surprising. Okay. Not taking my fancy, not what I'm really interested in. So let's see if we really want to see that pull down into this area here. I'm gonna flip to recently viewed, see what our SPY is doing here. So we're still in our flag. We're still in our do not touch zone. We're not messing with this. Nothing interesting to me. Coins absolutely rip. If anyone's in our spread from the Discord, lock up some profits on that. Don't miss out. And delete a few of these that we have no interest in. All right, there we go. Let's check a couple more and see what they're doing. Namely Tesla. I gotta look at the 15-minute on Tesla, see what we got what we're working with. All right, all right. We're being especially careful today, and I think the average investor is as well. That's why you're not seeing too much explosion volatility in the market open, simply because FOMC kind of day the volume can be a little lower. And a little apprehensive here. So above not 198.65 would be where I would like that Tesla call, but not on this candle. If this specific candle hits 198.65, I don't like it. It'll be an option candle. We would wait for the pullback of the secondary push up before we want to touch that area. And then obviously this area, not really. I'm not too excited to touch anything in this area here. This is my area that doesn't really interest me at all as it's a lot of indecision within that area. These are some nasty ass candles on the SPY guys and on Tesla. So we want to be especially careful with the entry we take on these types of stocks at this point. All right, so we did come down to our range here. So at this point here, above 285, I would like my entry. So LLAP, I like 285. We have not too much else going on these stocks. We did hit 1143 on our ATLX, which had two separate entries. 1058 was your riskier entry. 1081 was your safer entry. Floating between 3 and 8%, depending on the entry rate there. So, which isn't bad for a day trade. WINT is starting to have some nice little bounces here. And this one I like above 0.223 or 233. Excuse me. All right, so SPY did come back, retest, and it's pushing back up. Let's watch the next couple candles, see what's going to happen here. And again, if we do take a SPY call, it's going to be just out of the money. We got the 400 for a buck 48. We got the 399 put for a buck 15. Let's see what the next couple candles do if we do take a bounce at this area here. And I actually want to lift up this line a little bit to right about there. So let's see if we come all the way back down or if we come back down to a higher low on the 5. So if we flip on the 5-minute chart, their body, we are uptrending on the 5-minute technically, even though we have a wider variation here, the bodies of the candles are uptrending. I actually like the entry here on that call. I will let you know if and when I'm in. I'm waiting. I'm watching this candle. And again, just to remind everybody, it's the 400. It's at $1.55 right now. I'm not in right now. I will tell you if and when I'm in. Obviously, we're hitting some resistance at this area here, and we do have resistance right above our head at 420 as well. So we're playing this pretty close to the vest here, guys. These are scalps again. These are 0 DT trades. I got filled at $1.54. Um, these are scalp trades, guys. If you don't understand how to sell your calls on the SPY with one click and market sell them when need be, do not take these trades for 0 DTEs because I'm instantly already going to sell here half of my contract. All right, I didn't get a fill. Now I'm floating at break even. So I haven't filled yet because I'm at break even. We want to see it bounce off this trend line here. I would obviously, if we break back into this box in any significant way, that's when I would be very considering getting out of the position. We're watching pretty close here. I'm only down a couple percent. And I'm back green. I'm reducing a little bit of risk here. All right. Just sold half my contracts. I have 4 left. Because what that does, and we talked about this yesterday too, guys, what that does is uh it opens up your downside. It gives cushion it gives you padding for your downside. For me, hell, half my contracts for 5%, even though it's just 5%, when you're a larger trader, it gives you a little bit of cushion to break even at stop loss, if or anything like that. Because the candles are so volatile. For me, getting a little bit of green locked up and put off to the side is critical for me to feel better about a red candle here. Because either way, I'm still green. I'm still break even because we're still above my entry of a buck 54. You know what I mean? So it's just that's what's absolutely critical in that because let's just for anyone who's newer, look at the movement here. Watch how fast this moves. We're floating right so 158, 160. They move so quickly, that like if you get a really good candle, you get up 3, 4, 5% and makes it worth it. Like right now, I'm up 3% because I'm up 8 cents on contracts. Now I'm up 5%. So they move quickly. And you've got to be ready to lock up some profits and be okay with 5, 8, 10% because obviously. So what we're looking for now, if we break that 424, we will get an absolutely impulse move, and I do believe we break 450. If we can break 424 in the next 2 minutes, if we can't break it in the next 2 minutes, I think we do come down to that 399.29 again pretty stinking quickly. So if we can't break it in the next couple minutes, I'm going to be hard pressed to justify holding these contracts too much longer because this is our impulse opening bell impulse move, and we really need to see that push now the impulse break over the 424. And it seems like we just can't get there. Still sitting at break even, still feel okay, locked up 5% on half my contracts. Need that impulsive candle now in the next couple minutes. We're at 8:45. There we go. All right. So I think we'll touch 400.50 in the next couple minutes because of that impulsive break. See, I expect this to hold up there a little bit longer. Still not loving this. I want to see that break and that You start to see our time and sales flow green with the green block orders too. We're definitely mixed. We got a battle of the wills. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. And this just one little candle of 30 cents. Look at our contract. Buck 72. So we're up 18. I'm sorry, we're up 12% there. So, and that's where you gotta be ready to sell. And with the SPY, when you're going one out of the money, you can market sell that shit all day long. There's only a 2-cent float. So like spread, not float, spread. So you can market sell that. And there's our four. All right. So not our 450 yet, but I do think we get there. These candles showed us we were kind of holding up, looked pretty good. We're up about 11% right now. I'm selling two more and I'll be down to two. Haven't filled, haven't filled. All right, out 8% on. I just filled two more here for 8%. I have two left. Sold two for 8%, sold the rest for 5%. I have two left. So those two left, when you add it all up and all said and done, I could go down right 35% on that to break even because of the gains I locked up on the way. It's so critical to get if you want to day trade and you want to day trade options or you want to day trade SPX or you want to day trade the SPY or you want to day trade Tesla, you want to day trade anything outside of Coke, Walmart, lower moving stocks, you better get really, really comfortable in being able to make those decisions on the fly. So critical, guys, so critical. I mean, so now if we flip on the 5, we are still uptrending 3 green candles in a row. It's behaving very bullish. However, that don't matter none. Let's be real. We wanna get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. There we go. So if we dip below we've got northern and southern hemisphere. We wanna stay in the northern hemisphere here, guys. We didn't get our $400.50, but we did get 441. We did expect the impulse move. We didn't quite get the impulse move we normally would. I think there's a lot of hesitation, a little bit lower volume. Let me check our first 15-minute candle volume today versus 3.5 million versus the last couple of days. I'm curious. 3.6. Okay, we're right. We're right on track. It is looking like we're going to have a decent little push here. But it is time to jump on over to the Discord and trade with my OGs over there. If you're interested, Discord/GG boys. And come check us out over there. I hope that you guys have some happy trading. WINT absolutely blasted. This is what we're talking about, baby. We said let's at least pull back. And then I said I like that entry over the 0.233. We hit 0.33. 40% in 6 minutes. Come on, guys. Who got that entry? I hope someone is taking note at these entries because this played out absolutely effing perfectly. We had a perfect entry. You could have set your limit buy and been good to go. And we had a 40% pop on this one. I mean, this one worked out perfect. We literally bounced within a couple cents of our golden fibs, tenth of a percent of our golden fibs and popped up to 33 cents. Beautiful, love to see it. LLAP, would you look at that? It's bouncing right in our zone, right in the gray box. We wanted to see it at least touch before we take entry. So this one I like above 283. Market, let's check a couple more. ARB, nothing too exciting. And then, of course, we went over this a couple times. That WINT, though, was beautiful. And we're bull flagging. This is a bull flag. So if we get another impulsive break over 32 cents, I like entry, guys, for a second scalp. And on that note, I'm going to jet on out of here. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Peace out. Protect your SPY profits. And yeah, so we almost hit the $400.50. And our SPY calls actually did hit 50%, excuse me. I'll see you guys over in the Discord.